We'll give you permission.
We recorded.
There we go.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. We had a couple of breaks because of the corona and other things, and because when I was sitting Shiva and so on. So we have to pick up a little bit, and I hope to finish at least the contents of these are the few pages that we did, or we did it in short, rather talking about the personality of a person, trying to say, especially against haughtiness, that a person should not be haughty. If a person, as Gaive is, speaks about terrible things about people who are haughty and how God cannot stand him because it's like a person puts himself in the center of the world. He pushes away God from the scenery, and it says, I'm talking about 5A2 in the middle, that Kadosh Baruch Hu, when he decided to give the Torah, he found he didn't go Har Sinai, the Mount of Sinai. He didn't take the most tall mountain, and also when he appeared to Moshe Rabbeinu in a shrub, he didn't revealed himself into a big tree. He just went to this sneh, which is a small shrub. So trying to inculcate a value of haughtiness, that a person should not be haughty and should not feel should not possess haughtiness of spirit and so on. So talking about this goes for a long time, a long way, quoting all kind of psukim or verses, and talking about if a person is haughty, is also usually he speaks Lashon Hara, he slander people because obviously he sees himself above everybody else. They doesn't give any place for other people and so on. So notwithstanding that, there is a statement which makes a little bit, try to balance between over-haughtiness and that a person should not make himself to be completely nothing. I'm referring to 5A3 in the English, the last passage in 5A3, and in the Hebrew is about 3, 5, about 8, 9 lines from the bottom, which I found it very interesting, talking about so much against haughtiness, and it comes Rab Chia Barashi. Rab Chia Barashi comes, Amarav, on the name of Rav, תלמיד חכם צריך שיהיה בו אחד משמונה בשמינית. A Torah scholar must have 1/8 of an eighth of haughtiness. In other words, in the same time that there is a criticism that a person should not be haughty, yet the Gemorra finds sometimes there is a value in having a little bit of recognition of the person's his own value. It's essential. The commentary makes the Torah scholar possess the small degree of haughtiness on that that people should just ignore him, and if he makes himself to be nothing, he cannot have influence. So there is a need to find a balance between, I would say, humility, to be humble, not to be completely figure or non-thing, because you won't be able to have any influence and impact on people, against a haughtiness. And the Gemorra continues in 5a4. He said that he should be like a crown, like the beard, in inverted comma, does to the stalk. In other words, there is a stalk, you've got something like at the top of the stalk, like a little beard. So in other words, you should have something that people should recognize that he has got, that he exists. Amar Rava, and Rava but says, Beshamta deid bei, a person that possesses haughtiness, he should actually be excommunicated. At the same time, Beshamta deled bei, and to a state of excommunication, even a person that goes in the other extreme, if he doesn't possess even a tiny degree of it. So, as I said, we are talking about balance. I think in Tuesday, in Pirkei Avot, we spoke about Maimonides speaks about the golden mean, the Shvil Hazav to the golden. A person mustn't go to extreme. You can't be, there we were talking about you just throwing money, one extreme. The other extreme here, you're a miser. You go down to your money. You have to find in the middle the way. Likewise here, you cannot, if you are haughty, this is one extreme. So much so that Rava said he should be excommunicated. On the other hand, if he doesn't have a little, tiny, then also should be excommunicated. Again, for a balance. And however, Rav Nachman, who follows, he disagreed with that. He said, Lo mina velo miktzata, a person should desire neither of it, not of haughtiness, and not even part of it. So, and he quotes a pasuk. So, I see that we see that it is very, very delicate situation. On one hand, you must have some kind of self-awareness of yourself. Otherwise, if you nobody is going to listen to you. Nobody taking any notice of you. On the other hand, of course, it should not be haughty, and not everybody agrees. We see that somebody said, no, you should not have even the a Torah school should avoid, according to Rav Nachman, should avoid altogether. Why? Because he agrees that you should have a little bit, but very difficult to keep it tiny, and there is a possibility that you will overstep and become roti. So one has to be very careful. I will continue in 5a4 in the first column in the bottom. אמר חזקיה, אין תפילתו של אדם נשמעת. A person's prayer not heard unless he makes himself soft like flesh. Again, shows to be humble. Quotes a posuk, מדי חודש בחודשו, etc. אמר רב זרע, continue the second column related to it. אמר רב זרע, בשר כתיב בנרפא. The word flesh is written and it will have healed. אדם לא כתיב בנרפא, but apropos of the word אדם, it's not written that it will be healed. So, Adam means if you don't keep yourself low and you just roti, then there is no healing to it. And then continue Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan plays on the words Adam, makes acronym of the word Adam. Aleph stands for Afer, means dust. Dalet of Adam stands for blood, Dam. The third one, Mem, stands for Mara, bile. Basar, the word Basar, which means flesh, Bet, Busha, a person should have shame, and Strucha, the sin, Strucha, foul, and the Reish Rima, worms. Another say, Ikadamri, Sheol, the shin, is not, it's not a sin, but a shin, then stands for Sheol, means Sheol, if means with a shin, Sheol means grave. So a person will, his personality, Rabashi continues by saying, Amar Rabashi, kol adam sheyesh bo gasut ruach, if a person has got, possesses hardness of spirit, lasof nivchat, ultimately he be diminished and became a loyalist of men. Again, quoting a pasuk, a verse. And then I'll do it very, very quickly because I want to finish tonight this part of what you call the Agada time, that in Yirtzeh Hashem, next week we can continue to the proper Gemorra of Sotah. And the Gemorra continues, Laset ol Sapachat, talking about affliction of Tzarat. He says, Seot, again, pointing to raise, which means, again, haughtiness, Sapachat, subsidiary. So again, talking about try to get a balance between haughtiness and completely lowering himself. And we continue again in the middle of the column about the reward of humility. Amar Rabbi Shiur ben Levi, in the middle of the column, בואו ראה כמה גדולים נמוכי הרוח לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא. See how God appreciates people who have got lowly of spirit, no authority. שבשעה שבית המקדש קיים, when the holy temple was standing, אדם מקריב עולה, a person would bring an עולה offering, שכר עולה בידו, he received credit for having brought an עולה. עולה is a sacrifice which was completely sacrificed without any parts remained for the Kohanim, everything was burned. אבל מי שדעתו שפלה, however, in the case of somebody is, when he's humble, מעלה עליו הכתוב, the Torah regards him as he brought all the various offerings. שנאמר, again, using a verse, דבחי אלוקים רוח נשברה, the sacrifices for Hashem are a broken spirit. ולא אלא שאין תפילתו נמאסת, and also his prayer is not despised by God, and it is accepted. Then we move to the second column, ואמר רבי שיור בן לוי, whoever כל אשם אורחותיו בעולם הזה, whoever appraises his ways in this world, זוכה לראותו בשעתו של קדוש ברוך הוא, he will eventually witness the salvation of Hashem. It says, ושם דרך הרינו בישע אלוקים. They said, it plays on the word ושם, not with sham, which means evaluating. If a person evaluates his way, and then he will be seeing God's salvation. We go, Gemorra, okay, so this is, so far, I'm happy that we continue the subject, which I said had to do, Musar, to tell us, the Gemorra goes from the subject of Sotah, which we are dealing about, the woman which she behaves not nicely, and therefore there is all the law that he warns her, and she has eventually to drink the water, which will either prove that she is innocent and nothing wrong that with what she was suspected of, or she will be guilty that eventually this water will kill her. But somehow the Gemorra moves to the subject how to give us some teaching in behavior, and especially with regard to haughtiness, that the person must be careful not to over evaluate himself or behave in a way that is such a great guy that the Torah doesn't approve such a guy. And the Gemorra brought verses to this effect, and also samples from Hashem himself. Hashem, he tried to be among the people who are humble, and like as I said, it shows the lower mountain, Mount Sinai, to reveal himself there, or the sneh, this shroud, to when Moshe Rabbeinu, when he revealed to Moshe Rabbeinu. So all these are lessons for us how to behave. On the other hand, again, it was emphasized that a person shouldn't make himself with nothing, because if you are nothing, you are not able to make much of a contribution to other people. People don't think much of you, then you're ignored. And even if you've got something that you could contribute by telling people what are to behave, what to do, if you make yourself as non-existent, so you are missing the possibility to have a good influence on other people. So with this, we come to the conclusion of the subject, which is befitting also to the end of the year before Rosh Hashanah. In Rosh Hashanah, we stand in front of Hashem, feeling so helpless because we have to pass the judgment, and as we know, Kol Ba'ei Olam Yavru Alech Kimnei Marom, everybody has to pass by like the shepherd counts his sheep one by one, and so God looks into our deeds during the year, and based on that, He decides if we deserve another year, and what kind of a year it should be, a year of blessing or problematic, and so on. So this, I think, something that we befitting to before Rosh Hashanah, before the end of the year, before Yom Adin, before the Day of Judgment. And with this, I want to wish you all Shana Tova Umetuka, a good and blessed year, sweet year, that every one of us should be remembered by God to inscribe us in a good gesunter Jahr, or say gesund. I value health is as the first thing, because if you're healthy, you can do things. If you are not healthy, you are not able to do much. So that we should have, all of us, we, our families, our friends, and all our people, that we should be inscribed in the book of life for a good year with prosperity and naches and success in whatever undertake we undertake to do. And please God, hopefully the next Tuesday, which is already be next year, we will go back to our subject of Sotah. And I hope that we won't have any disturbance. This month of Elul was not a good month for me personally. They started with the departure of Batya Shiur, and then last week I had the corona, and I'm still a little weak. But we say, Tichle Shana V'Keilotea, when it comes to the end of the year, we say, let the year we finish with the bad experiences, Tachel Shana B'Chotea, and that the next year will start in a good note full of blessings. So this
Oh,
is
mate.
this
Amen.
is all of,
And to you as
All
well,
of-
Arav, every good wish to you, your family, Amen, and to all the chevra on the
Thank
Shiur.
you.
Shana
everybody.
Tova,
Have
everything
Shana
of the very,
Tova,
very best for
Matuzah.
everybody. And
Shana
we should
Tova.
pray.
thank you very much.
Thank you very
Shana
much.
Tova.
and wish everybody
Shiur
the best.
v'chesed
You and
Thank
you very much for the share. Thank you, Rav. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you, Arav.
I am leaving now. I hope the next
When is
week.
Shloshim, Arav? Arav, when do you have Shloshim?
Shloshim ends on after Rosh Hashanah, Monday.
On Monday. Oh.
Monday
Sure.
we have we're putting on the tombstone and on the Shloshim. And yes, for me, it is for husband is Shloshim. For the children, it's a year of mourning. Of course, there is certain degrees of mourning, but yeah, it's a difficult time for all of us. And I must say that I'm very, very lucky that I've got the children here supporting me and the grandchildren and all of us, and also the friends from here, from abroad, the messages of comfort and the chizuk and the encouragement. It was very, very appreciated.
Thank you, Rav.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rav. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
to
much.
everyone.
To
Have a
you and your
Wednesday off.
families. Okay,
Thank
I'm
you.
leaving.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Kol tov, everyone.
Kol
Gemorra
tov,
Chetma
everyone.
Tova. Shana Tova.